Sergio, you trained in jiu-jitsu. When we first met, I didn't even know anything about you, and you this badass son of a gun.
Oh, thank you. By the way, I didn't know anything about you either. When I when I went to the gym the first time, I only knew that you were in the UFC, but I had no idea who you were or pictures or anything because I didn't watch it.
But you just saw this good-looking guy at the gym over there. Go, I want to hang out with this guy. You stay because of my looks. Come on, just tell the truth. Was my looks that caught you?
No, actually, when I started training, it was the human person that you are, because you had no ego when you were teaching. I love that, and I said, okay, this is the right place for me.
Oh man, I thought it was the looks.
No,
man.
The looks I would have run away.
It was for the look. Hey, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here, man.
That's funny. Sergio, tell me, how did you grow up in Chile? You grew up rich? You grew up poor? What was your deal? Middle class?
Middle class. I grew up middle class. It was my mom and my sister and brother and I. It's just all four, and she worked all the time. She's actually a doctor, but even though we're a doctor for 3 kids and herself, it wasn't a glamorous life or anything like that. She was able to provide for us. And at one point, I was born in Santiago, in Chile.
What county?
In Ñuñoa. It's very close to the Olympic Stadium. So I started to practice martial arts one time when my mom said that I needed to learn some self-defense. So she said, find a place, and I went to my friends, and my friends were training Kung Fu at that time.
Or was your mother that sent you to learn? Your mother's a doctor, said, hey, she never goes, oh, don't do such a barbaric thing. She said, no, go there.
Go there and defend yourself, especially if you need to defend from your brother. So go my brother is older. So
no, your brother was the bully in the house.
Yes. So he said, hey, you better learn something, we're going to get beat up all the time. So my friends were having fun going to this class, and I said, okay, I'm going to try it out.
What was the first martial arts you practiced?
When I was 7 years old, I practiced karate for a month. It was so boring, that it was a month, and I was like,
you almost fall asleep in the class.
This is not for me.
Almost fall asleep in the class.
Yes, it wasn't for me.
Then after this,
when I was 13, my mom actually suggested that I started martial arts, and my friends were going to a Kung Fu class with one of our neighbors, that he was a teacher.
Oh, cool, Kung Fu.
Yeah, and then I did that for 4 years.
Does any style of Kung Fu, because so many styles?
Yeah, we practice Wushu. Wushu is a lot of forms and stuff, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the same thing that
Jeet Kune Do.
Same that Jackie Chan did before.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Then you start the Kung Fu.
I had Kung Fu, and I was competing, and I was winning, losing. It was okay. But then my teacher stopped teaching, and I said, I gotta find something else, a different martial art that is more competitive, or it has more, it's more organized. So Taekwondo at that time was the only martial art that was organized worldwide. So I said, I'm gonna try this. So I went to Taekwondo, and I started as a white belt. I said, I don't know this martial art, so I cannot.
You start from the ground zero.
From the ground zero. And after that.
And how many years you already?
4.
You already start feeling, man, I want to be part of this.
When I was in my 4th year of Kung Fu, I wanted to start competing more, and then the only outlet was Taekwondo, to be able to compete internationally, and the federation in Chile and around the world, they support you. So everywhere in the world was the same. So you can compete, and they don't have all these different federations. Some person is a world champion in one federation, the other one is in the other one is in the United States. So you have like 30 different world champions, but Taekwondo was only one. So so that was all around the world, and if you're the champion on that one, it's like, okay, you are the one that is legit.
How old are you start?
Taekwondo when I was 17.
17 years old. How old you got your black belt?
When I was 18.
18, 17, because you already have previous experience
so
in karate.
Yes, so I learned all this stuff, and I used to train Monday through Sunday. Twice a day, I used to train all the time. I was at the gym all the time. And that is what got me to the point that I was able to compete. At the end of that year, I was able to compete at national level, and the coach of the Olympic team called me up and said, "Come and train with us." So he
Wow.
invited me to
In
train.
4 years?
No,
tra-
in 1 year of Taekwondo, but 4 years of martial arts,
4 years in martial arts in general, 1 year in Taekwondo, you got your black belt, then you got invited to be part of the national team.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
It was awesome. After I won, that was one of my short-term goals, and when I accomplished that, I was training with the national team, and we had the opportunity on that year to go several places around the world. I went to Brazil at the South American Championships, and it was awesome. It was great.
You went to Brazil to
I went
compete or to watch the
Actually,
Carnival? Come on, tell us the truth.
the funny story is that we went to Brasilia for the competition.
You went to the competition,
Brasilia.
woke up 5 in the morning in the middle of the Carnival.
That the next, after the competition, our instructors, our masters, took us to Rio. They left us in a hotel room for 4 days.
You live here for
No,
another 40 days.
We had no idea. They said, "You guys gonna stay here. We'll see you later." They come back 4 days later. So I was
The
in
coach-
Rio. I was in Rio.
Hold on. The coaches left the kids
Yes.
at the hotel
Yes,
and disappeared for 4 days in
for
Rio.
4 days.
Where they been?
I don't know where they've been.
Did you
we
guys
went.
ask?
We went all over the place.
What did you guys
No,
ask?
we didn't ask.
Hey, coach, too much embarrassed to
Yeah,
ask the
yeah,
coach.
no,
Hey,
no,
coach.
no.
Hey, coach, where did you go?
No,
Tell me the truth.
That was a great experience because we got to get to know the whole area, and the another team, which is the U.S. team, the national team, their coach left them there too. So we hang out together. We went all over the place. Yeah, we were athletes.
How old were you when you guys?
I was 18, 19.
Wow, the best.
In Rio by myself with for 6 other guys and having fun. And there was one guy that was from Brazil. He was kind of taking us all over the place too, and they did Taekwondo and was helping us out.
Just don't tell us what place he took you. Keep this to yourself. We cannot.
Oh
put this
yeah, we cannot talk about that.
And how was your when you step into the first competition in your life? What brought you?
To me, it wasn't the tournament. To me, it was the fact that I wanted to prove myself that I could be among people that are good, the best of the best. That's what to me was like. Okay, I want to be among those guys. For that, I need to train and I need to be able to compete with them and to prove myself, not for anything else than prove myself that how far I could get.
And you went to 4 world championships.
I was in the Chilean national team for about 10 years.
About how many world
I
championships?
went to four world championships. I went to Pan American Games. I went to South American Games twice. I went to U.S. Open. I went to another international competitions, and I can say that in every competition, not only competed, but in every competition that I went, at least one time I medal. For example, I went to 4 world championships and I medaled once. I got 3rd place at the world championships. I went to South American Games. I got gold and I got silver. And another time I didn't get anything. So different times, by every competition that I competed, I got at least one medal.
Well, how was the experience? Because we all know, go to the World's Championship and any competition, a ping pong at the World Championship, this is hard. You know, you got to face the Chinese kicking your butt over there, right? How it is for you face the most of the people that have most of the championships from Asia, from Korea. How was facing those guys in the competition? They were the most fearless guys, or you go, no, have some guys from Brazil here is very dangerous, some guys from other countries that's very dangerous, or only the Koreans at the time when you used to fight was the badass?
They were badass, but during the 90s, that's when I competed, it already shifted to all around the world. So
right, Taekwondo was more
very popular all over the world. So Spain was really strong. Brazil was in South America. Brazil was a powerhouse. United States, Mexico was really good.
Right, everything began to shift around, begin to change right on the 90s because back on the day, all the Koreans.
Yes, Korean wins everything.
Yes.
They used to win it, but in the 90s, it changed. It just shifted to everywhere. Iran was really good too. Turkey was really good. China. So everybody was getting really good at it.
On the same level.
On the same level. So competing with them was like, okay, who I need to fight today? It didn't matter. It just
Didn't matter.
didn't
Still a
matter.
hard fight. Doesn't
Yes.
matter if it's a Korean, Iranian, a Chinese. It's
Yeah.
still.
It's like jiu-jitsu. If you want to be really good at it, where do you go to train?
Brazil.
Brazil. So at that time, in the 90s, everybody went to Korea.
Wow.
So
to
we
learn
spent-
the rules, to
we-
learn the new
we-
techniques.
Well, because they have so many people there that if you go to university, they have 100 kids that are in the team for eight spots. So everybody's good.
Wow.
So when you go there, besides you are in their house, you go there, they want to kill you because you are in their house and they have to show their coaches that they're there to win.
Yeah, and how
Everybody's
hard is
good.
this selection to
Oh,
be part
everybody's
of the
good.
Korean team?
Yeah.
You know, because so much pride, so much pride behind it because they are supposedly
Yes.
the inventor of this sport. You know,
Right, right.
And just be part. And Korea must be even worse. If in Chile is bad, you can imagine in Korea.
Yeah. So it was for them it's a lot of pressure. They cannot lose with a foreigner there. Someone
They cannot lose
No,
for
they
a
cannot. They cannot.
Lose for a foreigner is they're gonna hold
If
you
they-
upside down and hit you with the bat.
Because it's their
on your
sport.
feet.
If they go to a competition and they don't get gold, they are a disappointment.
That's like the Brazilian back in the day lose on the ground for anybody else.
Yes, yes, like a disappointment.
Yes.
You can't.
You'll be crucified. They're
Yes.
gonna put you on the cross and
You better
throw a rock at
you
you.
better not compete. They compete and lose,
Yes.
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And getting the third place for you in the World Championship. That was freaking amazing because only 3 people in your country have this title.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
You know, because it was very humbling. At the beginning, I thought I was gonna, wow, this is kind of like when I was a kid, look at it and go, this is gonna change my life or whatever. You know, I was so humbled by the way that my instructor taught me and my mom that when I got the medal, instead of showing it to everybody, I just put it in my pocket because it was something that was for me. It wasn't.
Oh,
It wasn't.
Oh, you didn't do like me. I put every time I get my medal, I go to the nightclub.
No,
Hey,
no.
what's up?
No, I didn't do
What's
that.
up? Look at me.
I didn't
You
do
didn't do that, man. How dare you? How hold yourself together like this?
I don't know. I just put it in my pocket, man, because it was for me. It wasn't for me to show it off to people.
Man, I wonder.
I called my mom and I said, "Mom, thank you for helping me out to get to this point, for supporting me." That's what I did.
Hey,
And after that, in the
I
pocket,
use my medal even if I won the state championship. I walk with the medal on the street. Hey, what's up? The state, baby.
Yeah.
And you didn't do that. You
No,
just,
no. I just-
put the medal in the pocket and say, "Mom, thank you."
Yeah.
I told everybody, "Mom, thank you everybody, thank you guys." It wasn't like me showing around.
No, it wasn't
You
that.
kept it there. Then after this, after you hit this great accomplishment, and what else did you do? You kept competing.
after that,
What about your master? He goes, "Wow, Sergio, that was a miracle because
he actually he
was tremendous for the-
10 years before that, he gave me when he invited me to train with the national team. He actually, in a poster, he put that for future medalist. He put that on the poster that he gave me for you from him to the future medalist. Like he knew that I had what it takes to get there. So
even he wrote
years.
that
10 years.
letter.
Yeah, 10 years.
10 years before
Yeah.
you get your medal.
yeah.
Wow, that's a Nostradamus.
Well, he's the coach that actually was able to get 2 silver medals 3 years prior to that, and that was the third one. So,
Wow, it's not Nostradamus.
he's
That's not Nostradamus. That's me experience. It's called science. He knows it. It's like Carson Gracie. He look at the guy in the eyes
And you
and
know.
he goes, "Oh, I know this guy got something."
he got something.
Yes. I always talk about roots. People have to know. If you have no past, you have no future. You have to know your roots. You have to know who you are.
Well,
Why kept you so long with us? That's already practically 13 years past.
Yeah.
You're my
Well,
black belt.
well,
I'm glad you're still here with us,
Yeah.
but today is different. What?
loyalty for me is very important, and I chose this gym to be my house. So it didn't matter as long as I was able to always learn